So today I am coming to you from a very different location. I'm in a hotel room in Indiana, traveling for work. It's about 9:15 a.m. I got up and I did some work, and then some schoolwork, and I have to leave in like an hour for this event. Decided to take a break from work and make a video. Have really wanted to film a haul video. I actually tried pretty recently when I was at home to film one, and did not turn out well. I didn't finish it, is the thing. I have a ton of books that I've got recently because it's a new school semester and we have a ton of reading to do for that. And I sat down and started to film the haul and realized I couldn't sit still for that long and film that many books, so I stopped. But today's video is going to be a digital haul, but I do have some books on my Kindle that I have acquired recently and some audiobooks that I've acquired recently or checked out from the library recently. So I'm going to talk about those today. Alright, I'm going to talk about Kindle books first. I don't typically buy a book in two formats. I don't typically buy the same book in two formats, but I started reading my physical version of Reason She Goes to the Woods and just loved it. And then I don't remember where I was, but I was out somewhere and I had ended up having to wait for, I don't know, like a half hour. And I didn't have any book with me, and I didn't have any book on my phone. And I saw that the Reason She Goes to the Woods was on Amazon, and I had some Amazon credit, so I ended up buying it on my Kindle as well. So I acquired that book very recently, the Kindle format of it, and I'm almost halfway through, I think, and it's amazing. I'll see if I can find a picture to put like here somewhere on the screen, if I can figure that out. And I should tell you who it's by. I don't even remember. It's The Reason She Goes to the Woods by Deborah Davies, and it's about this young girl. Her name is Pearl, and she's got kind of this dysfunctional family dynamic. She's got kind of this dysfunctional family, and she takes a lot, so Pearl ends up feeling a lot of this kind of, seems like resentment or rage about her family life. She takes a lot of it out on her younger brother. She's just sort of a very fascinating young child in sometimes pretty bad and violent ways. But I love it so far. The writing is spectacular. It's very poetic at times. And I am enjoying it a lot. Next Kindle book is a school book. I try and buy a few Kindle versions because they tend to be a little bit cheaper than the physical copies. This is one that I bought on my Kindle. It's called The Triggering Town: Lectures and Essays on Poetry and Writing. It's by Richard Hugo. And it's, I think, exactly what it sounds. It's about poetry specifically and writing in general. Like I said, it's a school book. Richard Hugo is a pretty distinguished poet. I've never actually read anything by him, but I'm looking forward to reading this book. I don't read enough nonfiction that's not poetry, so yeah, looking forward to this one. Alright, and then third and final Kindle book that I have acquired, again, school book, costs less to buy on the Kindle than physical copy. So this one is called, the full title is Touchstone Anthology of Contemporary Creative Nonfiction, Work from 1970 to Present. So it's a fun title, but it actually looks pretty decent. Let me read you the Amazon description that's in here. And the editors are Lex Williford and Michael Martone. But let me read you the Amazon description. From memoir to journalism, personal essays to cultural criticism, this indispensable anthology brings together works from all genres of creative nonfiction, with pieces by 50 contemporary writers, including Cheryl Strayed, David Sedaris, Barbara Kingsolver, and more. So that's pretty promising cast of contributors right there. So again, looking forward to that one. Right, and 2 more books to talk about. We're going to jump into audiobooks. I have one that I have acquired. I just checked it out from the library, and I've got it for another week, but I'm probably maybe a quarter of the way done with it. Been listening to it on my phone. It's the Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead. Might have heard of it. It's pretty well received and well known. I believe it was also long listed for the 2017 Man Booker Prize. I'm pretty sure, and I can see why. I'm not that far into it, but I'm enjoying it so far. It's a novel. I think it's not technically historical fiction, because in this telling, the Underground Railroad is a physical railroad underground, and not just what it actually was, which was a series of secret safe houses. That's what I'm trying to say. So it's not history, but history. And so far it's incredible. It hurts to listen to. But I think it's important. I don't know what else to say about it. I'll probably cut a lot of this out. It's a good book so far. I'm excited to finish it. Right, and final book is one that I got on Audible. I don't remember what plan it is. It's not the full credit a month plan. I think it's every other month I get 1 credit. And I have a few just sitting there that I still need to use. But I'm really excited about this book that I just got with one of those credits, which is It by Stephen King. And I know that it's a really, really long book. It's 45 hours of an audiobook. But the reason I got it, aside from the fact that I really want to read it, I'll talk more about that in a second. But I have a lot of car road trips coming up this month. I'm traveling to Minnesota this weekend, just a 4.5 hour drive, and then I'm driving by myself to Sioux Falls, South Dakota later in the month, which is a 6.5 hour drive each way. So I think it'll be really nice to have one really kind of captivating and enthralling thing to keep my brain occupied. And also, I've only read 2 books by Stephen King, one of which is his nonfiction book on writing, which is on writing. But then I read The Shining maybe 1.5 or 2 years ago, and I thought it was fantastic. I hadn't seen the movie, so it was a thriller in every sense of the word, in that I had no idea what was coming next. I just thought it was so well done, and I watched the movie, and I don't want to sound like a snob in saying the book was so much better, but I felt like the book was a lot better. I think just because I had read it first, it felt, I don't know. This isn't a review. I enjoyed it. I loved reading The Shining. I know it is making a really big resurgence right now with it becoming a movie and everything. And I kind of heard that the format of the movie is very different than the format of the book, and based on that, I don't really want, if I were to see the movie at some point, which I don't know if I will, if I were to see the movie at some point, I think I'd like to have the full true experience of the book first, just because I don't know, I want to. That's pretty lame. That was cool. Book haul. My first one ever. Yeah, let me know in the comments if you've read any of the books that I've talked about today. Let me know what you think of them. I would say tell me which one to read first, but kind of started to already and have plans about when to read the others. But yeah, let me know what you thought of any of the books that I've mentioned. Let me know what books you've got recently. If you have a favorite one that you are looking forward to reading the most, let me know. And I'll talk to you again at some point. Probably. Okay. Bye.